Okay, you know the feeling, right? You've bought your movie ticket, you're walking into the theater, and then it hits you, that amazing smell of fresh popcorn. But then you see the price on the board and you have to ask the question we are digging into today: why in the world is movie theater popcorn so expensive?
Yeah, this person on Reddit pretty much hit the nail on the head. It feels like a simple question, and honestly, it kind of feels like a ripoff. But the answer isn't really about greed, it's about survival. And it pulls back the curtain on the fascinating and surprisingly fragile business of your local movie theater. Because you see, that expensive popcorn isn't just a snack. It's literally the key to how movie theaters stay in business. To understand why, we have to look past the snack counter and challenge a huge assumption most of us have about where theaters really make their money.
I mean, it seems logical, doesn't it? The main product is the movie, so the ticket has to be where the profit is. We see a new blockbuster come out, the lines are around the block, and we just assume the theater is rolling in cash from all those ticket sales.
Well, it turns out that assumption is completely, totally wrong. In reality, the profit a theater makes on a movie ticket is razor thin. Sometimes it's not even there at all.
So, if they're not making bank on tickets, where does all your money go? The answer to this is the key to the entire puzzle. All right, check this out. On average, for every $10 you spend on a ticket, the theater only gets to keep about 4 of them. The other 60%, $6, goes straight back to the movie studio. But hold on, because that's just the average. For the really big blockbusters, it's a whole different story. And this is where it gets really counterintuitive. The more popular a movie is, the less the theater actually makes from each ticket. It's a system called a sliding scale, and for theater owners, it's pretty brutal. On opening weekend, when the theater's absolutely packed, the studio can take as much as 98% of the money from ticket sales. The theater's basically just renting the movie at that point. As the weeks go on, sure, the theater gets to keep a bigger and bigger slice of the pie, but by then the crowds have all but disappeared, so they make the most per ticket when the fewest people are actually there to buy them.
Okay, so theaters are working with a tiny piece of the ticket pie. Now, let's take a look at the bills they have to pay with it. This is where the math starts to get really, really tight.
This chart really breaks down the challenge. The average theater has over $83,000 in costs every single month. And look at that. Most of it is just payroll for their staff and rent for the building. There is just no way that their small share of ticket sales can cover all of those bills.
And if that wasn't enough, it actually gets worse. For some of those premium formats, the studio can take 100% of the ticket revenue. 100%! That means the theater makes absolutely nothing on those sales. It's just a pass-through, taking your money and handing it right to the studio.
Which of course brings us to the million-dollar question. If tickets don't pay the bills, how are any of these theaters still in business?
The answer, as you've probably guessed, is the concession stand. That glowing counter in the lobby, that isn't some side hustle. That's the main event. It is the real profit engine of the entire operation.
And it all starts with popcorn. Get this, a single serving of popcorn costs the theater less than 50 cents to make. When they sell it for $7 or $8, the markup is a jaw-dropping 1,275%. And no, that is not a typo.
And it's not just the popcorn. The average profit margin on everything they sell at the concession stand, from the soda to the candy, is 85%. And here's the crucial part. Unlike ticket sales, the theater keeps every single penny of that profit. So when you add it all up, nearly half of a movie theater's entire profits, we're talking 46%, comes directly from selling you snacks. Without that revenue stream, most theaters would simply have to shut their doors, period.
Hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's what the CEO of Regal Cinemas had to say about it. He's not trying to fool anyone. He's telling you directly. High popcorn prices are what keep ticket prices from being $20. The two are completely connected.
So this isn't just some desperate cash grab. It's a surprisingly clever economic strategy. And research from places like Stanford has shown it's actually designed to get more people into the theater, not fewer. The fancy economic term is metering price discrimination. Now that sounds complicated, but the idea is pretty simple. You sell the main product, the ticket, cheap just to get everyone in the door. Then you sell all the optional extras, the snacks, at a really high markup. This lets the theater meter or measure how much different customers really value the total experience. Just think about it. This whole strategy serves two different customers at the exact same time. You've got your casual moviegoers who are really sensitive to the ticket price. They can get in for a reasonable cost and just skip the expensive snacks. But then you've got the die-hard fans who want the whole shebang. They're happy to pay more for the popcorn and soda to get the full experience.
The theater gets money from both.
So the crucial point is this. Every single person who buys that expensive popcorn is helping to keep the ticket price lower for the person who doesn't. The snack buyers are literally subsidizing a more accessible movie night for everybody.
And this connection is nothing new. Believe it or not, early theaters actually banned popcorn because they thought it was too lowbrow. But during the Great Depression, it became this affordable luxury. And guess what? The theaters that finally started selling popcorn inside were the ones that survived the Depression. The ones that refused, well, they went out of business. Popcorn literally saved the cinema industry once before.
So the next time you're standing at the concession stand, here's the thought to leave you with. Are you being overcharged, or are you actually an investor, making a small contribution to keep the lights on and the ticket prices down, making sure that the magic of going to the movies is something everyone can still experience? It's a whole new way to look at that bucker popcorn.